you have engaged in so much of riyaz and hard work that every part of you, every essence of you radiates this energy that you don't even need to start dancing, and people know there is a sadhana behind you. Beautifully charged engagement where they beckon an energy from within themselves. And that energy is no longer them. It's no longer restricted to the human being. Never knowing when that mark or limit of contentment comes, because it's never there. At the end of the day, it's about your intention as a dancer. Namaste. Today I wish to talk about something that I find very fascinating about Indian classical dance. So you must have seen in dance in general, unless it's a very lyrical, slow, intentionally passive movement, mostly 90% of the time there is a force, an energy that is exuded by a dancer, and that energy in different dance forms is brought in to the body through different formats, through different methods. You might have seen in modern dance, there is this practice of screaming and saying syllables and shouting in the middle of the performance in order to bring in energy. In fact, the audience is also trained and programmed to join in the screaming and the applause and all of the formulas to create energy in the dance. Have you noticed, on the other hand, Indian classical dance or any classical form of expression has a very quiet audience? In fact, in some countries, even clapping is considered disrespectful. In these cases, there is still intense energy that a dancer has. Where does that come from? One interesting thing to note is that any classical form of art requires something called riyaz or practice. All over the world, whether it is ballet, whether it is the practice of a bandish in Indian classical music, or today we're talking specifically about dance. And specifically, I wish to speak about Indian classical dance. So in Bharatnatyam, Odissi, Manipuri, Kuchipudi, Kathak, I already said Odissi, Satriya, any kind of classical form of expression, what really brings forth perfection is practice. Now, one single movement is given so much of significance and so much of importance that merely learning the movement is never enough. It has to be mastered. Now, in the process of a dancer mastering movements, he or she or they master the art form itself. And that is the ideology and the theme of an Indian classical form of expression, form of art. Now, what happens with riyaz or practice? Any entity that engages in an obsessive, beautifully charged engagement where they beckon an energy from within themselves, and that energy is no longer them, it's no longer restricted to the human being. the energy expands to such incredible degrees that it becomes a divine force, a divine energy. Therefore, whenever the dancer performs, the entire energy and force comes from a greater form of expression. It is no longer restricted to a human being. Isn't that fascinating? Therefore, yes, all art forms, all dances require practice. However, Indian classical dance is more complicated than that. Indian classical dance has several layers that you peel and continue to peel for the remainder of your life, never knowing when that mark or limit of contentment comes, because it's never there. It's a constant search, it's a constant seeking. And the most beautiful part is that, am I happy and content only when I get there? No. I'm happy in every single moment of my riyaz. I'm happy even in the moment when my guru teaches me something new. I'm happy even in that moment when I know that something is very hard for me to understand. And it gives me the scope to work on it relentlessly and enthusiastically. So whenever an audience watches a classical performance, they are quiet. There is a respect. There is a sense of honor for the art as well as the artist, the dancer. And when you watch a classical performance, every single movement of that dancer, you can see there is so much of energy that is coming into the body from such delicate yet powerful force that you almost can't pinpoint where that is coming from. Now, does this happen with all Indian classical dancers? No, it does not. The degree of intention matters a lot. A lot of us learn, and we learn from very good sources. Really wonderful teachers, really wonderful gurus who can guide us. But at the end of the day, it's about your intention as a dancer. How much do you want to inculcate this art form into yourself? So that even when you're not dancing, you're probably just walking and people can see that you are a dancer. You're just talking and people can see that you have engaged in so much of riyaz and hard work, that every part of you, every essence of you radiates this energy that you don't even need to start dancing, and people know there is a sadhana behind you, backing you up all through your life. And therefore, to people who are contemplating starting a classical practice, I can't recommend it enough. And for those of you who are already walking this incredible path, I really wish to, in all modesty, give you this advice to embrace the art form in the most purest manner, without the greed of moving really fast, without the impatience of reaching somewhere. Just really enjoying where you are, being in the moment and cherishing every single moment that is available to you. I really hope that this helped you in some way, probably made you understand in the incredible power of Indian classical dance. That is my intention in my own small way. This is a tradition which is thousands of years old, so we're all just small tiny aspects of this, Tomorrow we won't be here, but the art form will still continue to stay. Our forefathers, the gods, wherever that this came to us from, the history is just there in stories. We just know these aspects through stories. However, the art continues to live on, and that is the power of our heritage and our cultural treasure house. Sending you lots and lots of love, wishing you all the best in whatever that you do.